This is the Insta360 ONE RS, the second generation successor to the ONE R. The ONE R definitely had its shortcomings, but the innovation was always there. In a world where so many things are the same, new ideas are always welcomed. The ONE RS took what already was a great concept and made it even better. Its modular design makes this camera so diverse that it may as well be an alien living amongst humans. But what does this extraterrestrial bring to the table? The 4K boost lens is a 16mm equivalent with a constant f2.4 aperture. It has 6K widescreen mode up to 25 frames per second and regular recordings up to 4K 60 frames per second, rated to last 75 minutes. The 360 lens is a 7.2mm equivalent with a constant f2.0 aperture. It has a slow-mo recording mode of 3K 100 frames per second and regular recordings up to 5.7K 30 frames per second, rated to last 82 minutes. On top of that, the camera also has active HDR modes for both photo and video, flow state stabilization, 360 horizon lock, waterproof up to 16 feet, and a 1445 mAh battery, which is 21% bigger than the previous model. But those are just numbers on a spreadsheet. What we really want to know is this camera really worth getting? Let's find out. I've spent about 2 weeks with this camera now, pairing it with numerous accessories I had at my disposal. The extended selfie stick, mic adapter, and accessory shoe are just to name a few. I put this camera through some stuff, and in the end, it always survived. Let's kick this off with my motorcycle. I am a motorcycle channel after all. I tried multiple different ways of getting different angles, and I was pretty pleased with how some of them turned out. Starting off, let's mount it on the back of my bike. Yeah, it's essentially an ass shot. It's not the most flattering with me as the subject, but maybe you guys can think of something more peachy to use this camera angle for. The mounting ideas are endless. Here's a shot of me mounting it on the bar end slider. Here's a shot mounting it right beside my chain using slow-mo. And here's a shot of me holding the stick and moving it around. I wouldn't recommend doing this by yourself though. I did this for the sake of example. If you're gonna attempt this, either do it in a very safe area where there's no cars, or simply give it to your passenger. All of these shots were made possible because I also have the motorcycle bundle kit. If you're planning on purchasing this camera, or any of Insta360's cameras, I'd highly recommend getting the motorcycle bundle kit as well. So I just got one of the sticky mounts from the motorcycle bundle kit. We're going to be putting it on the windscreen here, and then we're going to mount the ONE RS on there with the 360 mod and see how that looks from this angle. Now, for what I personally think is the coolest accessory you can buy with these cameras, the waist strap mount. I'll be honest, it's a little ridiculous of a look, but just bear with me for a sec and check this out. It's like a freaking video game. This totally gave me GTA vibes. I probably would have benefited from angling the camera a tad bit higher to get that full GTA experience, but let's do some GTA jumps and hope for the best. Check out that stabilization. Of course, you don't want to see me just jumping around like an idiot, so let's take this on the bike. Switching gears from the 360 side of things, let's check out the new 4K boost lens. First off, let's see how good the flow state stabilization is on the new lens. By the way, thanks to Alice for begrudgingly accepting to do this for me.
I'm running.
You're running.
How far?
Go ahead. Next, let's see what it looks like while moving on the bike. One of the biggest things I really hated about the older ONE R was the mic adapter. I'll be honest, it was rubbish. I think the form factor of it was appealing to everyone because it was so small, but that mic adapter was a great representation of something that was too good to be true. Fast forward to this new ONE RS, this is the new mic adapter. It's not as small as the older mic adapter, but everyone knows bigger is usually always better.
That's what she said?
all jokes aside, let's check out how this camera sounds with and without the mic adapter. So Alice's voice is actually a lot more soft-spoken than mine, so let's see how it picks up. So we're at the same distance. I'm behind the camera, you're in front of the camera. Okay, just say hello.
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 Hi.
Hi. Okay, I got my personal videographer here, Alice. Thanks for helping. Yeah, so this is what the mic sounds like when I'm not moving. We'll see how it sounds while I'm moving in just a second. And now I'm talking with the engine on. Let's see how well it does with the ambient noise of the engine. And now I have my visor up as well. I have the wind blowing in my face while I'm talking. This is what it sounds like. A new attachment that I would recommend for someone who's planning to use this camera for regular vlogging is the Accessory Shoe. In this example, I attached my Rode Video Micro to the One RS using the Accessory Shoe and paired it with the 4K boost lens. Here is the new boost lens. It shoots at a maximum of 4K 60 frames per second. As you can see, this is how it fares in the sunlight. Let's look up into the sky. Looks pretty good. Let's go back down. Adjusts very nicely to the lighting. And you know what? We can even adjust the focal length on the fly. So this is 20 millimeters right now, and we can max it out to 50 millimeters. So that's kind of cool. You can do that. Now that you've seen a little bit what this camera can do, let's answer an important question. I bought an Insta360 ONE R. Are all the pieces of the new One RS cross-compatible with my older camera? The answer is yes. If you decide you want to upgrade the battery, core or 4K boost lens, you can do so at your own pace by buying them all individually. The reason I don't list the 360 lens or the 1-inch lens mod in this answer is because both of these items are still the same as the older generation. Whether or not they'll upgrade these in the future or even add new modules entirely still remains to be seen. Basically, keep an eye out for it sometime down the road. Just remember that once you upgrade the battery, due to its larger size, you'll also need to upgrade the bracket mount of your camera to accommodate it. For all you winter hobbyists out there, I haven't forgotten about you. I love to snowboard, and these 360 cameras really do go hand in hand with winter sports. Taking this camera on the mountains, I learned a few things. Number one, even on a super snow heavy day, this camera does a phenomenal job. It was completely coming down during this recording, but check out how well the footage held up. Number 2, the low light is amazing. Cameras historically have been known to capture more than our naked eyes can see. The One RS is no exception. In this situation, we couldn't see much at all, but check out the footage. Miraculously, the camera is still able to bring enough light in to create well-lit footage. And lastly, number 3, capturing fails in 360 degrees is probably the funniest thing. Like I said earlier, the new battery is 21% bigger at 1445 milliamps. Maybe to some of you, that still isn't big enough. This is where the boosted battery base comes in handy. It's a whopping 2380 milliamps, which makes it 65% bigger than the new battery. With the bigger battery, you won't need to buy a new case again. The mounting feet are built into the battery itself, so in some ways you can argue that the setup actually looks much cleaner, stealthier, and is definitely easier to disassemble if you decide to swap out components. Because of the awkward design of the batteries, you'll also have awkward looking chargers for them as well. This is the fast charging hub for the One R and One RS. It charges a max of 2 batteries at a time. I would definitely recommend getting this if you're planning to have more than one battery. One of my favorite features on the mobile app that I recently discovered is called Viewfinder. It's basically the easiest way to edit a 360 clip. Instead of having to create a whole timeline's worth of keyframes, now you only have to create one. You set a keyframe, select Viewfinder, and now you can use the movement of your phone to dictate how you want to frame your shot. And that's it. Now you can show off your video clips to your friends and tell them that you physically created this masterpiece. If you were looking to use this feature on your desktop, don't get your hopes up. I think we're still a couple years off from seeing people use their monitors like steering wheels. In the little time I've had with this camera, I can honestly say it's been such a joy to learn and use. It's not too heavy, the buttons are easy to find even with gloved hands, and having the ability to jump back and forth between different configurations is incredible. I personally found myself using the 360 mod more than anything else though. The whole concept of shoot first, frame later really makes 360 footage much more appealing. So there it is, my review on the Insta360 ONE RS. What I showed you in this video really only scratches the surface of what you can do on this camera. It's not only limited to motorcycles and winter sports, you can take the One RS anywhere your heart desires. Every activity will bring in its own unique footage. I hope this video has helped you guys figure out if this is the camera for you. Insta360 has so many great products that I know it can be a little jarring to pick and choose just one. If after this you do decide that you want to buy a camera, whether it's the new One RS, older One R, One X2, or the Go-To, I have an affiliate link down below in the description that you guys can use to purchase them. My affiliate link will always have discounts attached to it, and sometimes you can even get free stuff that are added on to whatever you're purchasing. Not to mention, if you order through my affiliate link, you'll also be supporting me and the channel. So if you end up buying one of these cameras because of this video, then I want to thank you in advance. If you have any more questions that I failed to answer in this video, please leave a comment down below and I'll answer them. If you want to just say hi or give me some constructive criticism of how I can make future videos like this better, that's okay too. Last but not least, I also want to thank Daiva from Insta360 for sending me this camera and all the accessories you saw here today. This video wouldn't be possible to make if it wasn't for her, so she really deserves all the credit. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and of course, I will see you in the next one.